Goodness me, that's been so difficult to get the lighting right. There's really bright sunlight. If I face into it, obviously I can't see. If I face away from it, you can't see because it's shining on the camera. Not good, eh? It's cold. We've got autumn. Have you got autumn? The lowest temperature according to my thermometer on my the window next to me was 6.1 this morning. But my friend Lars, who has to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to milk the cows, talked about it being 3 something, which is unheard of on the last day of September. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the cold. What am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about COVID. We're heading into the UK a week tomorrow, and been watching the numbers for months. I'll put a link below to the site that I'm using. It's called Our World in Data, and I've just looked at the numbers today. And the numbers, the daily confirmed per million in the UK is 34,600, and the daily confirmed figures per million in France is 5.6k. Massive difference. And I have to sort of think to myself, which I do often, what are we doing that's different? What's happening that we're doing differently that's bringing our numbers down? And I can only think it's that we didn't throw off with gay abandon our masks. We still wear masks when we're out in shops or in public places indoors. We're not wearing them outside, whereas before in the first year we were wearing masks a lot outside as well. So we're not wearing them outside. If I go into a shop or another public place, I'll put my mask on. Still seeing people, mainly men, walking around with the mask under their nose. They obviously don't understand that their nose is part of the respiratory system. It really pisses me off. I have to zip my mouth and just put up with it. So we're masking. We continue to mask, and we sanitize our hands every time we get back into the car, or the shops all have points for sanitizing your hands as you go in, as you go out. We went and had our new front tires put on the car yesterday, and sat for an hour in the waiting room of the car tire place. That's a stupid name, isn't it? Pneu. 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 It's a bit like kniff, but we don't sound the K. But in France, the P, pneu, it's sounded. Anyway, so we sat there for an hour, and I just felt a bit grubby. All those people that had been sitting there before me, and there was hand sanitizer there. We'd got hand sanitizer in the car, and I had washed my hands really well when I got home. And the other thing we're doing is social distancing, and people are really good at that, mostly. You walk in. We went into one of the Brico stores yesterday to get something, a new Bullcocken thing valve for the toilet. And as I went in, one side, people coming out stepped to one side, so we gave each other space as we walked through the double doors, that you get at the entrance to shops that slide open. So people are really good at social distancing when in a shop or whatever. Apart from the other day, I was in my local Intermarché, and there was a guy behind me who was quite agitated, I think, and lots of breathing going on behind his mask. I know we're all breathing behind there, but he was audibly, breathing, I think in agitation. And having worked with mentally ill people, I know that they can get agitated when they're in a queue or in a shop, or they're in an environment they don't want to be in. And I think maybe that's what was going on. I was too busy being anxious myself about him not moving away, not socially distancing, over my shoulder. And eventually, in really poor French, because it was like, because I was anxious, I couldn't really think. And I just said to him, too close, s'il vous plaît, trop proche, s'il vous plaît. And everybody looked at me because I think I said it quite loudly, but I was just so pissed off. It's like, get off my back, too close. But that's rare. Most people keep their distance. So anyway, we're travelling on Friday for the first time up an auto route in I don't know how long, since May 2019. So we'll be really careful when we stop to use the toilets and get a coffee and whatever. We're going Eurotunnel, which is great because we'll still be in our own environment. We'll be in the car and there'll be no moving around in public areas, which is, we normally do Eurotunnel anyway, but that feels a really good thing to do this time. And we'll be careful when we get to the hotel. I'm going to get some alcoholic wipes that I can wipe stuff down around us. So we'll continue to wear masks in shops and in other enclosed public spaces. We'll continue to social distance as much as we can. I'll be intrigued to see what's going on in the UK. To be honest, it frightens me. But we really do need to see family. We need to see Mark's mum, who's 96, in a care home. I need to see my grandchildren and my son and his wife, who we've not seen since May 2019. And there's other people, Mark's sister and a couple of friends. It does feel really precarious, and I feel like, having waited months, we couldn't have picked a better time. I'm reading stuff on Twitter. Kettering is really bad. We're not going to Kettering. A friend of mine is a couple of weeks later. Her children and grandchildren are there, and Kettering's really, really not good. And there was somewhere else, can't remember where it was now, that I read this morning that's doing really poorly, that they've got massive, really high numbers. I'll be meeting my sister, my younger sister, who probably won't see this. I was in two minds about whether to meet her because she's anti-vax, so she's not been vaccinated, and I really don't want to risk meeting her in an enclosed space. So we're hoping to have some dry weather, if nothing else, and we can go and sit and have fish and chips on the beach or something, so that we can meet. But looking at the long range weather forecast, it looks like it's going to be pretty iffy. Quite unstable the weather is, I think, for October, according to the long range forecast. So I don't know what's going to happen in the UK. I saw somebody wrote, it might have been in the Guardian, somebody wrote, it's like the UK is like one big chickenpox party. And for those of you who are a lot younger than I am, you won't remember that, when you were under 5, and somebody up the road, your mate up the road, had got chickenpox or mumps or German measles, you'd be encouraged to go and play with them. You'd all be encouraged to go and be with them so that you caught it and got rid of it and got it over with whilst you were still, under 5. I think the only time they didn't do that was measles, because measles was really quite dangerous. And I can remember my younger anti-vax sister having measles and her being in a pram in a darkened room, because measles can cause problems for your eyes. So I remember that, and she was like a babe, so I would have been 3 or 4, and I remember that. So yeah, somebody likening the UK to a chickenpox party is it resonates for me. I can't use the word I normally use, but it is mad, absolutely mad. Anyway, that's me, that's COVID. I might do something about France soon, you never know. Thanks for watching.